Brian Fritz here on WrestleMania Radio Row. Just a couple of days before WrestleMania, and guess who's here? The New Day is here.
Yeah,
baby.
yeah, yeah.
Some rounds of applause. Rounds. You can't even see on the other side, but people are going nuts.
It's
over
deafening.
there, man.
It's
Wow.
deafening.
I like that you guys are once again color coordinated,
Always.
Every time.
except for Big E with the wrong T-shirt on.
It's not the wrong shirt. Is this not a New Day shirt? Are we not trying to push merch?
I see.
This guy's trying to tell us what's right and what's wrong.
What do we call him? What do we call him? What do we call him?
Let's look at
You know
this,
you are?
Kofi.
You know what you are? You are a
Wedge driver.
You're trying to drive a wedge in between this solid foundation, but you can't do it. Why?
No cracks.
Because you don't see a crack.
Where are you going to put that wedge?
Take your wedge and go home.
Go home.
Go.
But why are you promoting Buteos and Xavier is promoting Buteos and you're just promoting the New Day?
Check it out.
promoting the New
Day.
Day.
Designing.
Yeah.
On the outside, he's flanked by the new shirt.
Okay.
Also paying homage to the old shirt because we want to make sure people buy all the shirts.
See? Yeah, it's a plan, man. You need to remember your history. This is where we all started. You know, this is old school. Come on, man. We're covering all the. You play baseball?
Of course.
First, second, third. You do not play baseball.
I used
First,
to play.
second, third, you do not play. I asked you a question.
I used to play baseball.
So that means no. I said, do you currently play baseball?
I do not. I do not.
We're covering all the
Not gonna
bases.
lie.
We're covering all the
Gotcha.
bases. First, second, third, and home plate, baby. We're covering all the bases.
All of them.
So let's talk about when New Day came together because, there was a lot of questions about how exactly this is going to work, how it came together and everything. Was it, did it come together as quickly as you thought when it came to the chemistry between you and then when it came to the audience?
Oh, the chemistry was there from day one. That wasn't a concern at all. What was a concern was, I have to put this gently and politically correct. We had the first iteration of the New Day it was a little booty. It's a little booty.
For good reason.
Yeah, right, for good reason.
Nobody likes a little booty either.
Right, we like it fat and round.
Yeah,
Yep.
gotta be big.
But we were able to turn things around because eventually we got enough trust with the powers that be, and then we started doing us. And once we did us, things were en fuego.
Were you worried with that first, coming of the New Day? Because as a fan, I'll tell you what, I was.
But the thing is, so let's say when a cell starts off, you don't know that cell is going to grow into a human being. So you can't judge the first step because you cannot see the last.
It's got to metastasize first.
Exactly. And so people have to understand that in order to become what we are currently, we have to go through what we previously once were. Like a phoenix rising from the ashes. You have to first fall before you can rise.
Well, that's actually a very valid point because I feel like if we were what we are now when we first started, I don't think people would be into it. I feel like because it happened very organically, people, we kind of like moved as the people. Not that we like listened to the crowd as far as like, oh, this is what people will want, so we're gonna do this. We always did what we felt was best, but we rode that natural wave of audience reaction and didn't force things down people's throats.
Plan. We got you. We got you.
It's funny how we know what a big difference a year makes because last year at WrestleMania we were getting booed out of the building, and even the day after at the Raw we were getting booed out of the building, and now we have Buteo shirts promoting Buteo Cereal. You know what I'm saying? I mean that like literally 365 days ago, who would have thought that we'd be like where we are? But it's one of the cases like we said we believed in ourselves and the chemistry that we had, that literally whatever we were given, we would be able to take and mold it into something special, and that's kind of what organically happened.
When was that moment when you said, not only do we have something here, but this is really going to go someplace? Like, this is big.
I don't know. I feel like we always kind of believe that eventually it would become something big, because I feel like if you don't think like that, then you're not really going to go anywhere. So regardless of how people are currently receiving it and how they previously received it, we always felt that our chemistry would be the thing that shines through and makes whatever we have eventually work. But I feel like it clicked for the crowd. We were overseas actually, and that clap that we do turned into something that they would kind of make fun of us with, and then from there it literally just took off for the next few months. So what was that? Like a month or two before Mania?
Europe? Yeah. Europe was a little bit after. It was like almost a month after. But yeah, there are a couple pivotal moments that I remember as far as events, it would be that we always talk about from time to time. Would be the Philly Royal Rumble, where the New Day Sucks chants were very loud. We had a kickoff match with Cesaro and Kid for the titles, which we lost. But that was a big moment. And the Detroit Raw, and I remember that Detroit Raw. I remember you kind of went off the handle a little bit.
I did.
You got because all right. This is our perspective. So it was actually a pretty good thing because we needed people to turn on it for it to become what it is now. But it started off as we were three dudes who were underutilized. We felt like fans are always talking about underutilized guys getting more and doing more with guys in the mid card. So our perspective was, hey man, we worked on this idea on our own. We can't even get into how much time we spent backstage and whatnot, trying to get this idea off the ground. So much of our own time, we spent money on doing stuff, shooting stuff that will never see the light of day, just to show people, hey man, we want this. This is an idea that we believe in. So we spent all this time working on this idea, and you're telling us we suck? It was a very real reaction. I remember, I think we were either in break or it was after the match. I remember looking around, we were like legit hot at these people. But it was a necessary thing, and it was a good thing for us. But at the time, it's like we put in all this work and effort to get to this point, and this is the reaction we get.
Yeah.
I always, and they make fun of me for this because they were trying to be like good guys, yay, and I always kind of cynically did it because I knew where I wanted it to go from the get-go, and so something like that, like, I was mad but like fired up and happy about it. I'm pretty sure I was like, I definitely like spit at the town like during the match. It was intense.
Well, give me an idea of something that you did a video for, so an idea you had, but it never came to the light of day.
Can we talk about any?
I'm not sure.
Well,
you can give like a vague thing.
yeah, I feel like when
Or you can give a particular example if you really
we
want.
could.
Oh, you're trying to get that
You can go direct.
exclusive,
We got a couple
baby.
things. I feel like the time's not right, but the video, the fun one that we thought would work.
Yeah.
We got to put out.
I don't know if we're allowed to talk about that from like a
No, I think
legal stand. Yeah. Oh, go.
I think it's perfectly fine.
Should we?
He's trying to get that.
You know what,
trying to
yeah.
get that
We've never
face.
talked about it.
He's always
Are you
good to me.
Okay, so he.
Yeah.
Always good to me.
Okay. Well, I mean, so problem solver is what we're talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Okay. Do you want to talk about it?
I'm a problem solver.
Yeah. All right. Do you want to?
You go
I
ahead
feel like
with
this is
that.
this is more of your baby, right?
I mean, yes. But
All right. All right.
You can talk about it.
Yeah, I prod you to talk about it. Yeah.
okay, so essentially, we didn't really know what we wanted to be. We just knew that we wanted to do something together, and so we came up with all these things that first we were like angry and we wanted more out of life, and we were gonna come at everybody with anger and rage and whatever. And
Sorry, which is the promo that you saw in Miami. The first time we were all three together on television.
Yeah.
So that was the shade with him in the white and red suit.
Yeah.
That's kind of how that idea. We worked on that before, and that was supposed to be the idea of finally getting on TV, and that did not last very long. Sorry, go ahead.
this is when everyone thought like, oh, it's Nation of Domination. And it's like, first off, no, because you don't call the Wyatts the new Godwins. So please relax with all that. Once they said, maybe in like a positive spin, do it in a fun way. And so we're like, okay, I came up with this thing called the Problem Solvers. And so it was literally like, oh, you've got a problem? And somebody would like hold out like their bills, and we just slapped them out of their hands and say, problem solved. But like nothing solved. You just knocked paper out of my hands. We made like a 4-minute skit where it's just people's problems and doing that. And it was actually like really funny. It was really over the top. But I think at that point, we hadn't gone through the evolution process, like we said before. So it was something that was way out here, and there were no steps to take you on that journey to this moment. And so, like, everybody, like, enjoyed it, but they're like, no one really understand it, because it's come from our minds of traveling in the car. Like he said, before we were a thing on TV, we had been doing this for, like, 6 months, like, off of TV, like, on the weekends, you know what I mean? And so it's... At one point, Kofi, like, jumped out of the air and stomped somebody's lunch tray out of their hands and like crushed it. Like, it's just legit ridiculous stuff.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to release that video one day because, like he said, it's just all ridiculous stuff like that. Us trying to solve problems, and I think the idea behind it was that how it would translate to TV was we would kind of be like a comedic APA type deal where people would come to us and have an enemy or something like that, and we would go out and somehow foil. I don't even know how it would translate. Like saying it now, it's like well, I don't even know what we were thinking.
I think it would have worked though.
Yeah, I think it would have worked too. Because everybody enjoyed the video that we shot, except for one person who didn't like that vision, and then we were the New Day preachers. So.
I get it.
which is cool because it worked out because like we said, so like people didn't like it in the beginning, so we essentially said, let us have something, and we'll make whatever work. So it's almost like a test. We're like, here in this cynical world where like in the 80s, you know, you could just come on and go, yeah, I'm a good guy, and everyone goes, oh, we cheer for you. Like now people are like, oh, get out of here. What are you like? So like Superman, people are like, oh, you've got your hair parted to the side. You're so clean cut. Like, screw you, get out of here. So like that doesn't necessarily work in certain scenarios anymore. So like we're giving something along those lines. And it's like, okay, make it work. And so like Kofi said, and he said, we were able to navigate the waters in a way to where now selling Buteos makes sense and it's not far-fetched, which is kind of ridiculous. You know?
Well, the other thing is, too, that I think what people appreciate so much is just because it's so much fun for the fans because you guys are having a lot of fun with it, you know, and all the ideas are organic and everything. I know that, you know, Big E and Kofi, you're typically in matches a lot of times, and Xavier, they're ringside. So has there ever been a time where you looked out of the ring like, what the heck is he doing out there, man?
All right. So there was one time where this is a while ago. So Kof and I are in the match. I don't remember who we were working, but there's one time. So I think we had a 2-seg match. We do something, and then we're about to go to break. I think we're going to break. So I get something happen on the floor, and then we go to break, and then Kofi and I start getting back to the corner or whatever. And at some point, I tap Kof. And I said, what is your boy doing? Your boy's doing too much. And he said, what? And then I looks over, and Woods is like doing the, so there's the downed opponent, and Woods is like doing the worm in front of him. And now that feels very, very natural. And it wasn't a point like I wasn't bad or anything. I was enjoying it, but it was just the oddest reaction is to have this I think something like Fairly Vicious happen. We go to break, and then we're supposed to restart. We get back, and then looking back at Woods, and he's just like aggressively doing the worm and tackling. yeah. It was like, all right, this is getting out of hand, but in a good way.
That was like the start of it because I kind of realized like, okay, so if this is based in our chemistry, we need to just do whatever it is that we want to do. So just essentially doing whatever pops in our heads, and if the crowd's into it, that's awesome. But it's like it's weird because like it is for them, but like it's for us.
Yeah.
Because like I'm trying to make them laugh, and they're trying to make me laugh, and it's just us having fun. And like thank you that people enjoy it. You know what I mean? But to the point of me doing too much, that like I said, that's like the start of it. So on the house shows or live events, excuse me,
sure.
On the weekends we just rotate who is on the floor, and so E has begun doing way too much. If you search Twitter, you'll find something
He's traumatizing children with the wiggle.
It's more than the wiggle now. I can't even say it on camera. Just look through Twitter and you'll find.
I think we need a visual example.
The angle of the camera. No, we can't do it.
A shower afterwards?
Well, what I found is that I really enjoy being subversive, and we have such a long leash that I like pushing it to see how far we can go. And no one's telling us to stop doing these things. So I don't know what the line is. I don't know where the line is, but I like trying to put my foot near it and trying to figure out where it is. And after doing what I did on live events and no one saying anything, I don't know.
What's the next step?
Yeah.
I can't go much further without. Yeah.
To that point, that's what is cool. Because I feel like people are talking about, oh, Attitude Era is so much better than PG Era, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it's a different thing because like, that's always referred to as the Wild West. Anything goes. And then in our era, in the PG era, we have to try to get that same sort of feeling, but in a sense that it's okay for kids. So when you go watch a movie like Shrek, there's adult jokes that the kids don't get that are still kid-friendly. Yeah. So you have to be a different kind of creative. And that, for us, disgusting. That for us is the fun part because rather than just going out and saying like, okay, when I'm talking, I can just say all these curse words and then make fun of you this way and whatever, not have to think about the 7-year-olds in the crowd. To us, it's a puzzle and it's a game because we're trying to go out there and just do our jobs and do whatever pops in our heads, but we have to think of a way to come around the backside of it, so that it's still okay for companies that want to do sponsorships and everything. And that's the part that's really fun to us because, like I said, it's a puzzle. And then the people that don't understand it, Attitude is this much better, and PG sucks because of this. Like you're not really paying attention.
So how close are you guys to actually having Buteo Cereal at a store near you?
I don't think we're that far off. I think it's very plausible. We don't know how far things are in the works.
No one tells us anything. You'll probably know before we do. Like a lot of times we get tweets about, hey, you guys are doing this. I can't wait to see you. It's like, oh, I didn't know that we were going to be in your town because nobody told us. So I think, a lot of people have been asking for it, and I think it would definitely sell a lot. I mean, it's been a long time since WWE's had like an actual food. They had the ice cream bars. They actually had some WWE cereal way back in the day. So it would be really, really cool to have an actual cereal, but we'll see if there's enough demand. You guys go. Vince McMahon has a Twitter page. Go on his page, and let him know that you want that Buteo cereal.
Shop Twitter. Let them know.
I was going to say, if John Cena can get Fruity Pebbles,
Yeah.
I think we can get some Buteos from the New Day.
Yeah.
Turn your milk brown, chocolate brown.
I don't see why not.
Yep. So with WrestleMania 32, you guys are going to be taking on the League of Nations. I think one of the things that I'm most curious about before the match, just the New Day entrance and how glorious it could be. I know you guys can't give anything away. Can you give a little tease of maybe what to expect?
So it's lit.
That's a reference to Kofi not knowing how to properly use the term "it's lit."
I mean, proper, I think is kind of what you make it. Right. It's lit was invented, and then people said it.
Is there a proper way to use booty?
There's a lot of confusion there. So, all right, I'm going to go back. I'm going to answer your question real quick. No, there will be no teasers. Watch the show. You'll see our entrance.
I'm assuming there'll be unicorns. That's all I care about.
Yeah, you're making assumptions. Break it down.
What happens when you assume you make an ass out of you and me, but mainly you?
Yes.
Look at you.
Yes.
Another booty reference.
Yes.
Hey.
Got it. We brought it back around. So what was the question again?
The
booty. Oh
right
yeah.
way to use booty.
Oh yeah. Yes. So
That was booty.
there's some confusion. This is what I like to say. You should strive to attain the booty, but not to be booty. Yeah. You see, there's a difference because a lot of people thinking like, "Oh, I love the New Day. I'm booty." No, little kid. That is not the message we're trying to send.
They might be booty.
They might be. Actually, if you don't know how to properly use the term booty, you might be booty. Yeah, so being booty is not a good thing. It's not a good thing. We say, if you listen to the tagline for the cereal, it's Buteos. They make sure you ain't booty. So you don't want to be booty. So that's not a... But
it's almost like the difference between using bad and bad. Like, oh, I'm bad. It means I'm really good, but it's like, oh, I'm bad. I'm a bad person. You know what I mean? Same word, check the context. Context clues.
Last thing, with all the success that you guys have had so far, and obviously with WrestleMania coming up, what are your goals for even beyond that? I mean, how much farther, how much bigger can the New Day get?
I don't know.
Career goals, guys.
It's just something. My main career goal is to make sure that Kofi becomes heavyweight champion.
This guy.
that's
He's
a real
skipping
thing.
his way to the World Heavyweight Championship.
As it should.
If I become champion, we all become champion. Vice versa, vice versa. You see what I'm saying? So, I think our goal is just to, like we were talking about, like just push the limits and see how far we can go, and walk that line of like what is okay and what is not, and kind of make what's not okay, and do it in witty ways like we kind of talked about. But right now for me in particular, this is probably like definitely the most fun that I've had in my career. Like without a doubt, every single day coming to work with my best friends is just awesome. Like how many people can say that? So, and then to be able to do it on a stage where people can look at it and appreciate it and be entertained and remember, to be able to give people that feeling of just, that feel good, that power of positivity. It's not a quote unquote gimmick like they say in the smart term speak, but we really strive to put smiles on faces and mainly our own, and by doing that, everybody else kind of benefits as well. So yeah.
For sure, and I think we obviously have a lot of title and championship goals as well. And honestly, that the World Heavyweight Championship is obviously a big deal for us. I think having that Freebird rule, I think that'd be really cool. I think to have something that'd be different. Yeah. That's definitely a big thing. But I think also being the most GIFable or GIFable, depending on how you pronounce it, I've learned to now accept the pronunciation of GIF. I'm okay with either. But yes, that's also very big. And I think the one thing that people will remember is how we make them feel. It's really cool to run into so many people that say, hey, you guys make us laugh every time you're on TV. That's a really cool moment. So obviously we want to be your WWE World Tag Team. What is the World Heavyweight Tag Team? You've had a lot of
WWE World Tag Team Champions.
yes. I feel like you threw heavyweight in there. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I don't know the proper. Yeah, I have to be wiggling my hips to even know how to properly say it.
World Tag Team.
Yeah.
I think heavyweight was in there a few times.
You did throw heavyweight in there for a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you?
I think I was rambling. So yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
All right. And then for me, selfishly, I want to make sure that my YouTube channel hits a couple million subscribers.
Plug it, baby.
Up, down. Go subscribe if you haven't already. I don't know what the issue is. What are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for?
It's sick. It's a video game channel. So go check it out right now. Right now. But to that point of E talking about giving families and stuff moments, so many fathers send us pictures of them with their daughters, and they're all wearing the unicorn horn. So it's like, oh, his 4-year-old daughter, she might not know that like we're the New Day. She just says, I like the unicorn guys. But now they can watch wrestling together, where they didn't have that luxury before to be able to share that. So it's cool to be able to do that for people.
And I agree completely. But then I think about the fact that it's very weird that we're having little kids imitate the stuff that we do. So I feel a little shame about that.
It's really you.
No, it's all of us. It's all of us.
It's you. It's you. You get a lot more kids sending you, or parents sending you videos of their kids gyrating,
7-year-olds gyrating.
Yeah, 7-year-olds, 3-year-olds, legit. Like just, it's very bizarre, but it's our life right now. It's real life.
Well, guys, thanks again for the time. I'm looking forward to seeing WrestleMania 32, the New Day taking on League of Nations, and what comes next. Should we do a New Day Rocks chant to end this, or?
We can.
I mean, we can.
I think we should.
Yeah. Yeah, it's early.
I know.
Gotta
We
be
got to wake everybody up.
Yeah.
Is it early for them? Is this live?
Yeah, it won't be early for them. It's early for us.
You have no idea like how tired we are. I just went to bed like 3 hours ago and just woke up. My son is sleeping in the hotel room, and my wife and I are eating dinner in the closet, like in the dark. This is real. This is my life, man. Like I got out of Access. My son went to sleep. My wife literally had a dinner date in the closet of our hotel. That's my life. That's me. That's what I'm up to. That's why they call me Pops, because it's real.